Howdy folks, Nathan Edlin here at the Fast Lane Car, and I am in Decano, Colorado at IMI Motorsport Park. This is where we do all of our track testing. And behind me is the 2015 and a half, so 2015.5, Volvo, here, stay with me on this, okay, ready? Volvo V60 T6, all-wheel drive, R-Design, Polestar. Yes, I think that's everything. Now, it's not the real Polestar, it's not the animal Polestar, but it's fast. It has some of the goodies that the Polestar has, which I guess is why they put that on there, which is really confusing. But I'll tell you this is one of the fastest wagons we have tested on this track. And coming up next, you're gonna see it. What you're looking at here is actually an old engine that Volvo's just keeping because it makes so much sense, and I'll tell you why. Because it puts out 325 horsepower and 354 pound-feet of torque. Now what's cool about it is, yes, it's turbocharged, but you get maximum torque at like 3,000 RPM. It's hooked up to a 6-speed automatic transmission, and it goes to all 4 wheels. Now, Volvo does have transmissions that have more gears, but once again, they're sticking to what they know works. And in this particular case, with 325 horsepower and over 350 pound-feet of torque, that is really impressive, and it's good for fast acceleration, and there's not a lot of lag. One more thing though, see this whole thing? It's not a very big car. It weighs nearly 3,800 pounds. That's pretty heavy. Andre and I agree that this is probably one of the best looking station wagons that's available in the United States. Now, I know it's known as an Avant everywhere else, or in this case a V-Series car, but station wagon is what a lot of North Americans like to use. Now, with that being said, everything about this vehicle is awesome, including these wonderful 19-inch wheels. But there is one thing that both of us kind of noticed and said, really? And that's this right here. And the reason why we have an issue with that is because, well, it's being done with Audi. And it just seems like it's a pale imitation, and it shouldn't be, because the rest of this car is so damn good looking. These lines are fantastic. Why put this on there to invite criticism? With that being said, the front end is pretty much all new, headlights and everything else, including the fog lights. And if you combine that with this wonderful clamshell style hood and the overall shape of this car, in TFL's opinion, this is one of the best looking wagons out there. 0 to 60 time, sport mode, traction control is on for this run. I'm gonna rev it up a little bit, 2,000 RPM, and away we go. This thing pulls like a freight train. Whoa! It's fast. Woo! All right, 5.93. That's really good. That's really, really good. All-wheel drive with a beefy turbocharged engine. Let's see if I can show you. There you go. Just in case you missed that. 5.93. That's quick. Now, there's not a ton of room in the back seat. Right now I'm sitting behind where Andre would sit, but see, he leans his seat back so far like a pimp that most human beings would have a hard time getting behind him. With that being said, there is a scalloped area in the seat here that allows my knees to fit. So if you have a large adult behind a large adult, it might be a little tight. Also, headroom is a little bit on the small side, and that's what you get for having such a slick roofline. Folks, I wanted to show you something cool. Now, I'm pretty sure other cars have had this before, but this is the first time in a test vehicle we've had the opportunity to see this. See this here? This is a pet barrier. Now, I'm a dog fan, so I dig this. And I'll tell you why it's so cool. Because it comes with the car, and it is completely stowable. Now, check this out. This houses the pet barrier fence, right? And so that goes down. See this rod here? You actually take the rod out. Stay with me here. And it all goes back in there. And it's just that simple. It actually just is that cool. Now what's neat about this is that even if the seat is up, you're able to put the pet barrier here, so you're able to put it behind the second row seat. So that is really cool stuff. Now, there is one thing. If you have the pet barrier up, you're not able to fold the seats down independently. But still, it's a really cool little idea, and it makes this car that much more utilitarian. We're just going to leave it in its regular sport mode, but this time I'm not going to accelerate and rev it. I'm just going to start flat, okay? Which is like 800 RPM-ish. In sport mode? Now I'm in sport mode. Just have to move the gear lever over. Here we go. It just really, not a lot of delay there. It just goes. Oh my God! Woo! 5.74. That is in line to be one of the quicker times on this track for any vehicle. Once again, Volvo has done a wonderful interior. It kind of punches above its weight class because you are getting a car that is cheaper than a lot of the Germans and some of the Japanese cars out there, but at the same time, you're getting an interior that at least looks super high quality. And I especially like the way they did the metal trim on the doors, but there are a few other things. Now, for one thing, Volvo has introduced a new app for your phone, which is Volvo On Call. And what you're able to do is get a lot of information about your car, telemetry, location, you name it, and you're able to get that through that app, which is pretty cool. I've actually tried it once and it worked great. On top of that, this has a very special component which I think is just awesome. It is more utilitarian than you might think. Even though it has a really low roof, it still is a wagon, but more importantly, it has, I love this, 40, 40, 20. That's right, that's how the seats fold. You could actually have both seats up and have two people sitting next to each other and have the center fold down independently. So you actually have three components that fold down. Awesome. Now we're going to do a lap, and I anticipate a very quick lap. I haven't taken the all-wheel drive version of this car around the track before. I've done it with the front-wheel drive version, so that's going to be interesting. All right, I'm in sport mode, Andre. And away we go. Woo! Right off the line, it really pulls hard. And it's not really letting me slip, but it's also not pulling back on the power, I said powder, from the engine. Okay, there we go, now it cut off. So when I was losing traction, it basically pulled everything back and said, you're not allowed to do that. God, there's no heavy delay with this car. So you put your foot down and you have, not instantaneous, but very, very quick power. Good brakes. Wow, great brakes. See, I got my foot all the way down around that corner. It did not want those four wheels to slip. Come on. Foot's all the way down. It takes a second. So traction control definitely does intervene. That's okay. Come on. Go, 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 go. Because, you know, it's trying to keep you safe. Going 90 and I stopped way before a lot of other cars stopped. That was pretty good. Okie dokie, amigo. What do we got?
minute 12. Okay, so I knocked a second off of it, basically.
Yeah.
You know what the thing is that the traction control is really intrusive. So when you get around a corner and you have the wheel turned, it immediately cuts power. So straightaways, I could fly, but I have to let the traction control believe that the car's not going to go fly off a road and kill me. So that's how it works. Hey, you know what though? It's still a really fast car in a straight line. It's one of the fastest cars we've had on this track.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Now you may be asking yourself, how much is such an amazing car? Well, it starts at $45,150, and that's for pretty much everything you see. But on top of that, on the interior and with other gizmos, the total here is $49,275. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Is it too much? I don't think so. I actually think that this vehicle, the way it's built, is fantastic for people who want the security of all-wheel drive, want to rock it in a vehicle that looks really good, but it's not too flashy. Okay, well, in this color it is. So on the old scale of buy it, at least rent it or forget it, I give it a buy it. I admit I'm a bit of a Volvo fan, and they've built another really good car. You can't deny the fact that it's quick, it's efficient, a little expensive, and a little heavy. But around a track, it still saved my bacon and went relatively fast. Not bad. For the Fast Lane Car, this is Nathan Adlin saying don't forget to go to tflcar.com for news, views, and real-world reviews. It's cold. I need to go somewhere and warm up. Heated steering wheel. See ya.
I just gotta tell him right now. Dude, you won't believe it. 5.74. This thing's a freaking rocket. This is how we work. Andre is a producer slash director slash boss man. We do what he says. Or else he pulls out his KGB badge and goes to town on us. There we go. 5.74. This thing is fast.